Number 1. Deutsches Eck. The confluence of the Moselle and Rhine rivers has always had special meaning in Germany, as at this exact spot there was an early commandery for the Teutonic Order. The Teutonic Knights arrived here in 1216 at the behest of the Archbishop of Trier Theodoric von Wied. In 1897 a large-scale equestrian statue of Kaiser Wilhelm I was raised at this location 9 years after the emperor's death. Number 2. Koblenz Cable Car. One of the first things to decide when you arrive in Coblenz is when you're going to take a trip on the cable car. This lifts you across the Rhine and up to the Ehrenbreitstein Fortress. Just under 900 meters long, the system has 18 cars, and its capacity of more than 7,500 passengers an hour is higher than any other cable car in the world. Number 3. Ehrenbreitstein Fortress. The high spur 118 meters above the right bank of the Rhine has been defended by a fortress since the 11th century. And up to the start of the 1800s this complex was besieged, destroyed and swapped between the French and the Archbishop electors of Trier, princes of Saxony and then the Prussians, over hundreds of years. When the French withdrew in 1801 they blew up the stronghold. Number 4. Landesmuseum Koblenz. Inside the Ehrenbreitstein Fortress is the multifaceted Landesmuseum, which has exhibitions on Rhineland-Palatinate's cultural history, viticulture, photography, and archaeology. One of the most fascinating things to see is the Griffin cannon, which, at more than 5 meters long, was one of the largest cannons cast in the 16th century. Number 5. Schängelbrunnen. Willi-Horterplatz in the town hall's courtyard is a much-loved fountain framed by those Renaissance and Baroque Jesuit buildings. The Schängelbrunnen, showing a boy spitting water at irregular bursts into the basin, was designed by the sculptor Karl Berger in 1940, and has a slightly complicated meaning to explain. The inspiration came from the city's anthem, the Schängellied, written in 1914. Number 6. Schloss Stolzenfels. A few minutes upriver and you'll be at one of the most fated castles in the upper Middle Rhine Valley. Schloss Stolzenfels has been around since the 14th century but was destroyed by the French in the 9 Years' War at the end of the 17th century. It was left to decay until the land was gifted by Coblenz to Frederick William IV of Prussia in 1823. Number 7. Basilica of St. Castor. In touching distance of the Deutsches Eck are the pointed Romanesque towers of the oldest church in Coblenz. Once attached to a monastery, the basilica is part of that UNESCO World Heritage Site for the epochal events that have taken place since its foundation 1,200 years ago. It was at this place in 842 that 110 representatives negotiated. Number 8. Rhine Castles Trail. Between Coblenz and the town of Bingen, less than an hour to the south, there are more than 20 castles on the river. The Rhine Castles Trail also passes through 3 of Germany's main wine-growing region. The landscape is included in the Upper Middle Rhine Valley UNESCO site, and is a veritable wonderland for walkers. Number 9. Electoral Palace. The Prince, Clemens Wenceslaus of Saxony built this ceremonious neoclassical palace on the left bank of the Rhine from 1777 to 1793. He was the uncle of the French King Louis XVI and was forced to flee Coblenz following the French Revolution and War of the First Coalition, during which the city would come under French control. Number 10. Jesuitenplatz. This square in the middle of Koblenz's Altstadt takes its name from the Jesuit order, which was in Coblenz for just shy of 200 years until it was expelled in 1773. On the south border of the square, the Baroque former Jesuit college, built at the end of the 17th century, has become Coblenz's town hall. Hope you liked this video. For more videos, please subscribe to our channel.